want to give you a reason why people need me to come back into the market. The last 2 years, I've been busy training guys, coaching guys. But let me just talk you through this home. So we're currently on Chancellor Avenue, okay? And this is where people are not looking at the listing correctly, okay? Now, look at what's around you, okay? So as I roll up to the house, the first thing I'm looking at is this thing here, okay? Now, when I see this thing here, what I'm also looking at is what the neighbors have. So I'm walking a little bit further. I can see one, church, okay? People want to live near their church. I'm looking 2, residential. All right, cool. I like this part of Newark because it has a beautiful history, okay? And some of these streets around here are similar to the homes that are in Queens. So it's got a rich history. Then I'm looking at this home across the road. Look at that. Okay, look at this. All right, so you can see what it's going to be or what it can be. But the key thing that people are missing is that it's zoned as a commercial property. So what does that mean to me? That means that can I go up, take the roof off, and how high can I go? That's number 1. So I want to check that out. Number 2, we don't have parking at the moment. So do we have lots of parking on the lawn? Can you see that? That's lots of parking. So it depends on how you approach the city to be able to find out what this can be used for. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm going to be teaching on my tour over the weekend. As you walk up to the house, you got to have the vision to be able to see this kind of stuff, okay? So let me just walk you through. Now, even as a commercial premises, this is an ideal location for someone that, someone that could basically wants to do like a daycare, a doctor's surgery. So much can be done here. There's so much potential. I actually get excited right now. So as I'm walking through the home, I'm looking at any wasted space. So as I walk around here, this is what I call wasted space, where that room here, you got to get rid of this wall here. This makes no sense. Okay, get rid of the wall here. And, ooh, great bed, bathroom. That's what I'm looking for, okay? So, in other words, you could also use this as a room in house as well. That's my bedroom right now. And I got my bathroom right there. Room in house number 1. Because the plumbing's there as well, we've got plumbing here as well. I'm getting excited right now, okay? Now, you got to have 2 visions. Are we going to stick with the whole commercial? Because now we're in the reception area of a doctor's surgery or even a daycare. Or are you going to put your hat on to be the residential person? So let's talk about residential. So right now I'm in my living room, okay? Living room because I see another access point that's taking me out here. Off the living room, I'm seeing a bedroom. Cool. Sensible sized bedroom. And I'm seeing a huge area here. Yep, as I thought, plumbing again. Another bathroom. So this is potentially, could be, and I could actually make this master, I could pimp out this master. So this area here, I'm going to get rid of this wall here. You don't need all that space. I want my master to be from here all the way over here. And then I'm going to do some storage space. Now look at this. And this is why I'm saying you got to have the vision. From here to over there, that's the length of my room. That's a dope master. Now I'm thinking about the avatar, the demographic of the person that may live here as a residential person. So if someone's retiring, this is going to be a great room for them. Okay, now let's go along. We're looking for a bathroom and kitchens because that's where the money is and where you got to spend your money. So as I'm walking around here, I'm seeing a lot of the electricals being done. All right, cool. So figuring out now, where are we going to put our kitchen? I'm seeing more bathrooms again. So there's a lot of bathrooms going on here. But because I got the plumbing, I'm assuming that the actual kitchen is going to be in this area here. And then I've got another door that takes me out. That's fantastic. Let's take a look and see what's outside. Now, I'm not going outside. I already know the real play on this is actually to do an extension. And I've not even gone outside yet. All right, so as I go outside, this is what I'm looking for, okay? How you doing? Yeah, so as you're here, you got to make friends with... How you doing? You okay? Yeah, not bad. We're just selling the house here. You want to buy it?
Huh?
You want to buy it?
It's an office, right?
It's an office, but you could get it zoned for a residential.
You have to go through. I know you have to get it zoned. Probably that should not be a big problem to do that.
Yeah.
So you got to go through the zone, and you have to go through the zoning board.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be a problem because you're like bringing it back. That would be beautiful for you. So at least you have both properties. Yeah.
That's what they want for.
We got to work it out with the seller. Let me just finish this phone call and I'll come back and see you. Yeah?
Yeah. But I know it was an office, but I know it have to be rezoned.
Yeah.
That I do know it have to be done. Probably no problem because it's in between two residential homes. It's not commercial.
Yeah. What kind of office was it before?
The doctor.
Doctor's office.
Now you know this area is zoned as historical.
Yeah.
You know, that have a lot to do with it. And then that's on a county road.
Okay.
That's a county road, right?
Okay.
You know, like if you want sidewalks and stuff, I think you got to go to the county for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I've looked at it.
I'll come back and see you, okay?
All right.
All right. So, as I'm looking at it, this is what I'm also looking for as well in regards to going up possibly. I love the fact that he's got a basement here, and at least we got to find out it was a doctor's office. This home has a lot of charm actually. The more I'm actually walking around it, the more I'm actually seeing a lot of benefits and stuff. I really want to get into the basement, so hopefully I can get in the basement with the keys that I currently have, because I love to see the mechanicals. And the reason why I want to see the mechanicals is because I want to know how much I got to spend. You can love the house, but if you're not looking at the mechanicals, you have no idea what you're walking into, okay? So obviously these keys don't work for out here, and I've got the listing agent on the Zoom right now. The door looks open. All right, let's go in. And let's see if we've got any lights going on here. Do we have any lights going? Oh, I like this. This is my kind of style. Okay. So why I say it's my kind of style, I'm looking at high ceilings, okay? And as I'm looking at high ceilings, I just see so much potential here, okay? Now I can get into whether we got old plumbing, new plumbing, because like I said, once you start buying this stuff at Home Depot, you start looking at this stuff differently. I don't even want to waste a wire now, whereas in the past I had a whole different mindset. I also see the trunking. So does that tell me that they previously had a HVAC? Down here is incredibly dry as well. This is beautiful. High ceilings. I can run my towels over this straight away. But this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the electrical panel and my water heater. So that's like a luxury. That tells me someone's done some work. That's brand new. Okay, so that's a real luxury. This is what I'm looking for, this big beast here. Big sexy beast. That's what I'm looking for, to see if I can get that working. Let's go again. Let's go over here. I've seen worse. Okay. So that tells me that, you know what? I could possibly get this HVAC working. I can see someone's attempted to do some new plumbing. This is a high ceiling, so I'm definitely going to kit this out. I was thinking about windows, but I do see that they're boarded up here and here, so great. Going to get some natural light here. But this is a great space down there. You know what's going through my mind. I'll tell you on the tour on Sunday what I'd be looking to put down here. But this is a money maker down here. This is fantastic. So I'm actually excited right now, okay? So let me jump back outside. I also want to talk to you about the fact that you see that I talk to the neighbors. That's what I'm trying to talk to people about. The neighbors have all the juice. They have all the sauce. If you don't speak to the neighbors, you're leaving money on the table, investors. I want to speak to the neighbors. They will give me all the information about the house, and they will give me really everything I know about the area because they live there. Will they buy the home? Maybe. There's nothing wrong with actually asking. So the other thing is that I take pictures of all this stuff, okay? So I want to know the business that was here. I want to know their competition to figure out if I could go to their competition to buy the house, okay? So you want to research the property to see what was it like in the past. So you have more than one person to propose this to. So this is a great opportunity. I'm going to go and speak to the neighbor in regards to number-wise. But let me just go back inside just to make sure I've not missed anything at all. And like I said to you before, investing is a contact sport. If you don't want to speak to someone, then you shouldn't be investing. You have to speak to people. And I'm one of those nosy guys. I knock on the doors and I want to speak to everyone. Because if you don't, you're leaving money on the table, guys. All right, so let me have my last walkthrough. I like the floor plan. Also, I like the fact that you're going to pick up some materials. Don't take these things lightly, guys. There's this couple $1,000s of materials that are here that are going to help you to get things done. All of these things you have to take into consideration when you're buying, because it helps you. Every dollar counts, all right? I want to go through this door here as well. So I got 3 ways to get in and get out. Now, by using this door here, this tells me where I'd cut my driveway. So as I cut my driveway, that's what it's going to look like. So you go down the driveway, cool, and then you'd walk down the side here to get into your home. So anytime you can't figure out where the driveway should be cut, I just basically just showed you a way of figuring it out. I like the whole brick feel. It tells me there's some kind of attic space up there. So you could do a whole add level if you wanted to do an add level to kind of create more space, but it's all about the numbers. All right. So I'm going to take a last walk through. I'm going to go and speak with the neighbors. I'm walking a lot of the properties today. I got a wonderful home, met a wonderful seller. I just went to the city a while ago to figure out the permit situation. I want to put that under contract as soon as possible. So any questions for me while I'm here? Guys, please always pay attention to what's going on. Oh, now I'm getting excited. Maybe I got to go in my car and get my ladder. All right, so when I see that, I want to see the headroom up there. Because you know I'm one of those guys that will push a bedroom and a bathroom up there. Okay? So this is where I'm saying to you guys, stop leaving money on the table. The investors are sleeping and I'm coming back into the market. You realize that you're getting no deals? I'm coming back into the market. You're not seeing the vision of the properties. Walk the houses. When you walk the houses, look at them the right way. See how you could actually reposition this asset. I just love the fact that it's zoned as a commercial right now. So what does that mean to me? The first thing I'm going to do is go to the city and see how many floors I can go up. Okay? That's a great opportunity. So especially when you're dealing with wholesalers and agents, you've got to have the vision, guys. You can't just look at homes and say, hey, everything needs to be get done. It doesn't work like that, okay? So it was previously a medical center zoned as a commercial. We already know how do you teach these finance bits on your tour. Of course I do. That's the reason why you come to our tours. I don't have the time to chit-chat with people over the phone. If you want to learn how to make money, I'll teach you that right there and then. I bring you to my projects. You see my contractors. You speak to my lenders. You speak to my attorneys. My job is to make sure you're the most educated person out there. I got guys who own hedge funds turning up on our tours. I got my clients on my tours. I got my sellers on my tours. I got my buyers on my tours. If you can't grow after coming to my tours, that's a you problem. But if you're serious about building wealth through real estate, this is what you need. Because when I started this business, nothing like this was available. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing on a Sunday. On Thursday evening, I'm going to be going through my pitch nights. I really like this property. My pitch nights where I'm going to be walking through deals because I realize 50% of the investors and the house flippers do not know their numbers. They don't know how to underwrite. So we're going to walk through different ways. Other people are going to show different ways how they underwrite deals. But that's something that's so important because what happens is that they buy the deal and then they realize that they don't have the money for the construction. But this is a cosmetic rehab for me. This is nothing. This is easy to do. I'm looking at right now, I can throw at least 3 bedrooms on here. A dope kitchen around the back here that wraps around. I got the basement where the reason why you see me walking around here because I'm trying to figure out where would I cut in the floor to get down into the basement. And that basement, I already showed you what I'm going to do down there. This is going to be a fantastic home. So I got to go to the next one. If you guys ain't busy, you could join me on the next property. I'm also on Thursdays for the guys that got kids and stuff and they can't get out to the tours on Sundays or they're investors and they're busy. Thursday at 12 o'clock, that's where I'm going to be walking my homes. whereby this is the kind of stuff I'm doing to just tell people in real time, this is how you get it done. All right, so I got to go, guys. Speak to you soon. Take care.